Do you like seed snails? Well, I have an improved seed snail for you. It works better than this design and is a whole lot easier to do. Here's my secret. Now let's have a close look at these two methods to see which one you're going to use in the future. I am introducing a new method that's much better than a seed snail, but it's not really an improved seed snail because it's not a seed snail at all. Now, I've been using this method for 40 some years to grow all kinds of seedlings, and when I used to work with orchids, we called them compots, community pots. It's a single pot with several seedlings in the same pot, a compot. So that's what I'm going to call them. The new improved seed snail is a compot. Now, I've made two other videos. In the first video, I went through and looked at a whole bunch of different ways to make seed snails. I was looking at videos that other people made and looking at the results they produced, and I evaluated their comments and the pros and cons of seed snails. I'll put a link to that at the end of this video. In my second video, I actually made seed snails and compots, and I compared the two. I wanted to see how they grow side by side. Some of that information is in this video, but if you'd like to see the whole video, I'll put a link to that at the end also. Now let's have a closer look at the new way to grow seedlings, compots. Making compots is pretty simple. Take any kind of pot you want. It can be square, round, large, small. It's entirely up to you. And use your favorite potting mix. Don't use special seedling mix. There's no point in doing that. Just use whatever your normal potting mix is. I like to press it down a little bit because my media is fairly loose. And then you're ready for planting. That's all there's to it. These things are really easy to make. Now let's have a look at the results of this test. Here's a seed snail with pea seeds in them. You can see they're growing really well. They germinated fairly well. They seem healthy. Roots are growing out of the bottom. This looks like really healthy plants, and it is growing healthy seedling. Here's the pot where I put 10 seeds in the same pot. They're also growing well. They also look healthy. In fact, if we do a comparison between these two methods, I really can't see a lot of difference. The height of the plants are the same. The germination rate was the same. The size of the seedlings are the same. Both of these methods work. In both cases, these seeds are ready to come out of here and plant them up into individual pots, or maybe plant them outside. The people that like the seed snail tell me that when I try to separate these seedlings, I'm going to do less damage to the roots. And that's a negative of using these, or so people say. So let's have a look at the truth. Let's unravel these and see which one is producing the best root system. After all, better roots result in larger plants down the line. I arbitrarily took 5 seedlings out of the pot and 5 seedlings from the snail. I took each of them and dipped them in water to try and knock off most of the soil so that we could easily see the roots. The 5 on the left is one group of plants, and the 5 on the right is the other group of plants. When you're trying to evaluate these kind of growths, it's important to have a control. And so one of the controls I have here is that you don't know whether the left side or the right side are the snails. So the question you have to ask yourself now is one set of these a lot better than the other set? Now I notice that the ones on the left here are a bit longer. So the longest root is maybe a little deeper. I don't know how significant that is. The roots themselves look pretty good. There is one plant here that doesn't have much of a root system, and the leaves above ground are also not nearly as large as its neighbors. So this is kind of the runt in the family. If we look at these over here, they also have good root systems. This one might actually be the largest root system out of all of these. But then we have one here that's quite a bit smaller. These two look pretty good. Here's another pretty good root system. And this one are both good-looking root systems. Can you tell which is better, the left side or the right side? I don't think there's a lot of difference here. Remember, every seedling is going to grow slightly differently. But if I look at these, they look pretty much the same. I'm pretty confident that I could take any one of these, pot them up, and it will grow into a good-sized plant. I don't see one or other of these techniques as being superior. Now perhaps there's a slight advantage to the ones on the right, and that turns out to be the seed snail. Here's my final analysis and comparing compots with seed snails. The time to produce them is quite different. Compots are fast and easy to use. Seed snails, they're slow and they're really messy. Germination, it's the same in both. Seedling size, same in both. The root systems, as you've just seen, are just as good in either system. How about space saving? Now this is the one characteristic that a lot of seed snail proponents say is the reason for using that technique. Well, they're exactly the same between a compot and a seed snail. Both take up exactly the same amount of room. And finally, what about watering? A compot can be watered from the top or from the bottom. A seed snail should really be watered only from the bottom. If you try watering a seed snail from the top, it's very hard to get the right amount of water in each of the thin layers between the rolls of plastic. And that's why most people use bottom watering. But with a compot, we don't care which way you want to water them. The bottom analysis here is really clear. I can't think of a single reason to use seed snails. If you want to save space and grow your seedlings closer together, use a compot. Thank you very much for your support. If you'd like to connect directly with me, the best way is through my Facebook group, Garden Fundamentals. We'll answer all of your questions there. I also have a blog called Garden Myths, where I've debunked over 2,000 different myths. I'll put links to all of these in the description below. Happy gardening.